Greetings, dear viewer, and welcome to Purposes Crossed, where I hope that people who are called by Jesus for different purposes cross paths and exchange ideas. In this video, we continue with our series of devotions on the Psalms, and today we will deal with Psalm 18. This is the third of three devotions on Psalm 18. In the first video, we saw that the Old Testament uses cataclysmic language to describe God's actions, not because we are supposed to take it literally, but because God's actions actually transform our world. In the second video, we saw that God most often acts through normal humans going about their normal activities with courage and wisdom. But what is the role of thanksgiving in the life of a person of faith? First, a thanksgiving obviously is an expression of gratitude. It is always good for our own character that we recognize and publicly acknowledge when someone else has helped us. Genuine gratitude builds a relationship because through it we recognize that the other person came to our aid even though he or she did not need to. That person made us a priority in their life, and thanksgiving acknowledges this. Second, it is a source of encouragement for us when times get rough. Just because God has delivered us from some difficulty now does not mean that we will never face any difficulty in the future. To the contrary, facing difficulty now should make us expect to face difficulties in the future. However, when we are in the eye of the storm, we are unable to maintain a positive outlook on life, or at least it becomes very difficult to do so. Our thanksgiving, then, serves as a reminder of God's faithfulness when things look bleak and when we are inclined to begin to despair. Third, thanksgiving serves as a testimony to others of God's faithfulness to us. An isolated, independent Christian is an oxymoron. We were created to live and function in community with a varied network of relationships that form a web of support around us, each supporting and receiving support from the others. And our fellow Christians also go through difficult times like us. And our thanksgiving serves as a record of God's past faithfulness to us, just as their thanksgiving would serve as a record of God's past faithfulness to them. And we can learn from each other. That Psalm 18 has served these purposes is evident if we look at Jonah chapter 2. In that chapter, when Jonah was in the fish, he prayed to God. And his prayer is basically a collection of verses from different Thanksgiving Psalms, with Psalm 18 being quoted twice and being alluded to another 3 or 4 times, depending on how you count it. The Thanksgiving of David in the 10th century BC served to fuel the prayer of Jonah 2 centuries later. Our thanksgiving gives testimony to our claim and fuel for our hope that God is still active in the world for the well being of His people. This video is being published on New Year's Eve as we get ready to put 2021 in the past and look forward to welcoming 2022. 2021 and 2020 before it were difficult years for many of us. Some of us have lost family members or friends to COVID 19. Some of us have lost our jobs or even our ability to work. Some were hoping for new beginnings in 2020 or 2021, but these plans have had to be placed on hold. And we do not know what 2022 has in store for us. But we know who walks with us into that unknown. It is God who has revealed Himself to us through His acts of deliverance in the past, who walks with us into that unknown. And because He has been faithful in the past, we know that He will be faithful in the future. But if things look scary and dark and bleak ahead of us, let us look back on our lives, and especially 2020 and 2021, to relive the ways in which God has been involved in our lives. Let us go back in our memories or our written records if we have made them, and allow them to open our eyes to God's rock solid faithfulness in the past. So, as we say goodbye to 2021 and ring in 2022, let us take this opportunity to express our gratitude to God in the presence of others, making public our dependence on and deliverance by Him.